All right, so when I was watching AFCON, I noticed something strange. I noticed a lot of white coaches. You might say, no, I'm being racist. No, no, no. My concern is this is an African continent. We're in Africa. The tournament is being hosted in Africa. So I would expect to be a lot of African coaches. Yes, and I may be judging by skin color, but you can get the general idea, right? So I decided to ask how many coaches are white. In the current AFCON 2025 tournament, there are 10 white coaches out of the 24 head coaches leading the national teams. This marks a historic moment where African coaches hold the majority with 14 African nationals in charge. The mostly non-African, mostly European coaches, um, sorry, yeah, mostly European or South American and presumed to be white for the purpose of your question. Coaches of the tournaments are. So, Algeria, Vladimir Petkovic, he's Bosnian slash Croatian. Angola, the person is French. Benin, the person is German. Comoros, he's Italian. That's why they had a very strong defense. The DR Congo, French. Mali, Belgian. South Africa, Hugo Bros. Yes, you might say that I'm being a bit discriminative, but it's an African tournament. I expect there to be more black coaches. And yes, there's some coaches that are light in terms of, the Moroccan coach, also the Egyptian coach. I would have scored more, but I just decided this would be better because sometimes when you edit or crop on TikTok, it just does something else to the video. So, I'm gonna be getting some assumptions and I'm also gonna be giving some of my takes because for me, I don't feel it's normal for an African tournament to be led by a lot of white coaches because it's in Africa. What are we not doing as, coaches in Africa such that our federations are not picking us up? And then it leads to questions like, why is it we prefer to get someone from outside the country compared to someone? Because me, I fully believe in terms of the FAS, that is our football federation here in Zambia. Their job is to make sure not only player development but also development in terms of coaching. Because I know this is out of Zambia, but in other countries, let's say for example, is it Argentina? They have a good number of quality coaches coming through because the federation helps them. And one of the things that does prevent African coaches from going to the big stages is cost. Let's be honest, if most of the costs are in dollars, you already know that if you're in Africa, you're going to struggle to make that amount. You're really going to struggle. If the costs are just in dollars, you're just going to struggle. And then there's also this other thing where sometimes what they'll do, they'll get someone that is mainly a player, sorry, not mainly a player, someone that is a former player. And when they get into a coaching role, they still stay there for a long time, mainly because they have no intention of upgrading their license, because they probably don't want to go on right test and they'll prefer just to stay at that level so that they're comfortable. They don't really want to move. Another reason is also the Football Federation. They really need to, I don't know, they really need to promote that because yes, they've made it. Yeah, they are supposed to pick players. In our case, they are picking their own players. But anyway, so in terms of the Football Federation, they could make it easier by hosting seminars or just sponsoring certain coaches. I'm sure they do that, but I do feel that they can increase the number or increase the scale at which they do that because and I'm not trying to disrespect Fuzz, or yeah, because I actually did do my coaching license in 2024. That was e-license, so now I'm looking to upgrade. Because eventually I do want to see myself like in the UEFA or just having a CAF license. But then again, the e-license, even that one, I was in a group and then someone made the post and then I had to follow it up. Because even now, I don't know when they're going to host the C license. And yes, you may say maybe I'm not checking, but here's the thing, whenever you find that the information, if they want to make the information publicly available, it makes itself publicly available. Let's say, for example, politics. We always get updated about political news, whether you like it or not. Facebook will recommend those feeds. We want to, and all those other news media outlets, they'll continue pushing and pushing that. You know about that. If a video trends in Zambia, we will know about it. If something happens that is either comedic or just like you even know the type of news that trends in Zambia, we will hear about it. But in terms of like coaching opportunities and stuff, I don't really hear about it. So I think they could also focus on advertising on that and make it easier. Host seminars, maybe instead of us going outside, they can bring the people here so that we work with them. Yeah, I know that it's more preferable because they have better facilities, but we can definitely invest here in Africa. We really can. I mean, I'm not trying to be like, is it hating or anything? But I just feel in Africa, we should, I think in Africa, like, we should be seeing more African coaches, because even in Europe, it's very rare you see a black coach. The only one that I think I saw, sorry, the only one that I remember seeing was Patrick Vieira, and even then he's French, but at least he's black. One of those things. At this point, I just made this video just for the sake of it. I may have left out other particular pieces of information, but I just want to make this video as a way to get the conversation started. Because, no, man, there's just no way. And also, another thing that a lot of people assume is that when a black coach enters, he'll try to, make himself richer, or that thing whereby he picks players based on relationship or how much money they can put in his pocket. Those are the assumptions that are there. But the fact that they are there and they're yet to be disproven, or let's just to be in a more technical term, there have not been any studies released about that. They really should clear the air up on that. And in our case, we end up hiring managers whereby they put them on high wages, and then now when you sack them, the Football Federation is deeply affected because these guys, trust me, they are getting paid large amounts. Yeah, it might be a 300,000, but that's in USD or UK, pound or euro. And then when you convert it into a local currency, you'll be like, eh, Zone says. Because like the amount of money we gave Grant just for him to live was a lot. And we just need more trust in local coaches. Like let's make it much more easier and accessible for local coaches to get their licenses, proper training. Let's build facilities for them. Let's get-togethers. Let's gather around. We focused a lot on the Zambian footballer in the past few years. I think let's also focus on the managers that will be coming to coach these players, because I don't think we should be getting coaches from there. We shouldn't. We should never. We should never. All the talent is here in Africa. All the talent is here in Zambia. I think even for the next AFCON tournament, we need to see more coaches. And even if it's me, fam, I think I might be on the technical bench, maybe in the next one or two AFCONs. I don't know, but it's a possibility that can happen. That's one thing I can say. It's a possibility that can happen. All I'm asking for the Football Federation, let's just make it easier for us here, particularly in Zambia, to get our licenses, so that at least we can also we can improve the football. And also, this is one thing I also learned from the coaching thing I did, is that the reason why you go through training is also to protect players, because there's a tendency for coaches that do not have papers to now start enforcing drills that may not be adequate. Let's say, for example, you see a drill of Arsenal training, and then you go and give an under 9 or under 5 shoe and do as chani. You need to have coaches that understand the purpose of the drill. Is it a developmental drill for children, or maybe it's a game plan that you want to rehearse for a certain team or against a certain opponent? Those type of things. And also some of these some of these these illusions or terrible thoughts, or thoughts whereby uh if you make a goalkeeper training the goal, it means that wazambo mwisa, or he'll be conceding in real life, which for me personally, I don't think so. And also, we should also have seminars in which coaches will learn to deal with player personalities. We learn to discipline players, how to make them follow the game plan, how to make them believe in you as a coach, that I will get this job done and you will do what I say, and I'll give you the results you need as a player. If it means the striker scoring more goals, I can promise to give you that as a striker. If it means the midfielder, getting more man of the matches or just being more involved in the play, I will do that. If it means the defense being stronger, more rigid, I can do that. Those are the things that we have to learn as coaches. Also, the things that we have to teach to players, that there is life after football. Investments, relationships, taking care of yourself, avoiding negative media because you may affect other opportunities in life, things like that. That's the things that we're also supposed to be trained as coaches. So this is also a call on fans, like, empower us. Please empower us. Also, AFCON. What's this? I don't even, is it the Yes, African Federation, CAF. Help Africa. Let's set a quota that we should have more African coaches in these tournaments compared to white ones. Remember, this is not me being racist or anything. This is just the fact that we need to see more African coaches in these AFCON tournaments. That's all I can say. And also, us as the people, we have to back these managers. And we have to have such an abundance of coaches such that even if we sack one black manager, there will be another man to take his place. I have not gathered all the facts. I may have gotten some things incorrect, but what I want is to create a discussion whereby we can talk about these things. So, this is just me, how can I say, leaving some breadcrumbs, and hopefully, we'll have a discussion whereby we can talk about these things and help our continent. Otherwise, that's all for today, and goodbye.